everybody, and welcome to this week's eVetSites orientation. I'm going to get started in just a moment here, but you should be seeing a green website. If you don't, go ahead and put a question into the question screener to let me know, and if you're having any trouble hearing me, let me know as well. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Today we're just doing the general orientation, going through how to use the editor. If you have any questions or want me to repeat anything during the orientation, just go ahead and put it into the question screener, and then I can get to it. Okay, so to get started, I'm going to be working on this basically demonstration site. If you want to follow along with your own website, feel free. So the first thing I'm going to do is get logged in. So whether you're on a trial site or your site is live, you'll log in the same exact way. You're going to go to your own website, domain name, and you'll scroll down to the very bottom, and on the left-hand side, you're going to see this little key down here. You'll just click on that, and that's going to take you to the login screen. Username is always administrator, all lowercase, and then the password is either going to be the temporary password that was set up for you with the trial, or the one that you've changed it to since then. So now I'm logged into the site, and I know this because I can see these editing options up at the top here. So to get us started, I'm just going to explain what each different part of the website is, and then from there we'll talk about how to edit each of those sections. So up here we have our menu. That's going to be every page within the website, categorized however you want to put that in. Then we have the header up here. This is at the very top of the website. Coming down here, we have this sidebar. This is called the common content. And depending on what template you're on, this common content will either be on the left side or on the right side. And then down here at the very bottom, we have the footer. So you'll notice that no matter what page we're on, whether we're on the home page or we jump over to About Us, those sections are always going to appear on every single page. So no matter where we are, we're always going to see that common content. That footer will always be at the bottom, and the header will always be at the top. Because those sections appear on every single page, we edit those a little bit differently. We come to Admin Home to edit those sections. I'm going to click on that. So now we're in the administrative area of the website. This is kind of the back end of things. This is where you can make lots of different changes. You can change the template. So to get us started, I'm just going to show you how to change those three sections we were just looking at. So if you come over here to this administration tab, you'll see that we have that site header content, that site footer content, and that site common content that we were just looking at. So jumping into the header, this is going to be what appears at the very top of the page. And our editor is a lot like Microsoft Word. You'll notice here you can change the fonts, you can align the text. So it's pretty self-explanatory. We'll also go into more about editing each page when we go back out to the website. But some things that you're going to want to include in your header are the name of your clinic, obviously. You're going to want to include the location of the clinic, so your address, and then your phone number. And you'll notice here the phone number is actually a link. And that means that if your clients were looking at the website on a phone or a mobile device, they're going to be able to click on this and directly call the clinic. To set this up, you just highlight the phone number with your mouse, right-click it once, click on Insert Edit Link, which was that first option. And then in this URL field, you want to do TEL:, and then the phone number. And then what will happen is that will read in the code as a phone number, and then they can just click to call it. Something else you'll want to include in your header is a logo if you have one. That can really help personalize your website, make it look more custom. If you don't have a logo, we do have designers here that can create one for you. Basically, all we need from you are some ideas that you have or color scheme that you're looking for, and then our designers can come up with some options for you. There's no additional charge for that. You just need to email us or call us, and we can help you create one. Anytime you make a change in the editor, you'll want to make sure that you hit update. In this case, we didn't make any changes that we want to save, so I could either just hit cancel or just go to a different section. So next up, we have the footer content. So the footer is going to be, again, what's down at the very bottom of the website. And when you start off with a trial, we start you off with just a few links here to a policies page and a privacy page. You do not have to keep those on there if you don't want to. You can delete those. You can also add your own links or your own buttons to this area. So this is a great place if you want to highlight something to clients, but you don't want it to be front and center. This is another great place if you are part of any veterinary organizations. You can put those links down here, or some badges if you have any badges. So again, just another great place to highlight things to your clients. And last but not least, we have the common content, which is going to be that sidebar, which is either on the left or the right. When you start with a trial, we give you an hours table. And if you need to change these hours at all, you can just come into the editor and just change them to whatever your hours may be. There are also some asterisks here in case you have any special messages that you want to include with your hours. So if you're closed for a certain time on a specific day, you can note that here. If you have doctors available at certain times, or if you have staff meetings, this is a great place to highlight that to your clients so that it stands out. Common content is also a great place to put your social media links. So we start you off with Facebook and Google+. If you don't use those, you can delete them. And if you use other outlets like Instagram or Twitter, we also have icons for those as well. So you just want to make sure that you do link these to your specific Facebook and Google+ pages. And we'll go over how to link things a little bit farther on in the orientation. We also give you a Get Directions icon and link, and that's going to take clients directly to the Contact Us page. And on that page, they can contact you with a form if you so choose to keep that on your page. And they can also get directions with an interactive Google map. Again, if you make any changes, so here I changed the hours, so I'm just going to go ahead and hit update here. If there's any information on this section that you don't want to keep, feel free to delete it. You can also add your own information in. So if up here you wanted to list your phone number again, you could always just put that in here, or any messages that you want your clients to see. So if you have special holiday hours or a special message that you really want to stand out, this is a great place to put that as well. Going back out to Admin Home, some other things that you can do here. You can change your account information, you can add users to the website, and you can create email addresses. Creating email addresses is going to depend on how your domain name is set up with us, and if you have any questions about that, feel free to contact us. But if you do have email capabilities with us, you would come here to create the account, and you can have up to 20 email accounts with us and more if you need them. And to create them, you would just come here and then create each email address that you need. So when I say create an email address, that's going to be an email address that's associated with your domain name. So if your domain name was petvet.com, you could do drsmith@petvet.com or reception@petvet.com. And then you can give that email address to your clients, and it's cohesive with your domain name, and they can just contact you using that address. The last thing I want to point out in Admin Home is probably the most important, and that's the template change. So this is where you can change the entire look of your website. So if you've been on a template for a while and you're kind of bored with it, or you're looking to update things a bit, this is where you can change that. So when you log in here, you're going to see what template you're currently on. So this one is on Hazelnut, and you'll get a little screen cap of what it looks like. And then if you click on this Change Template button, that's where you're going to go to make the change that you want to do. So these are all of the templates that we have to choose from right now, and we do add to these from time to time. We usually send an email when we do that as well to give you a heads up. So just to note, all of these templates are mobile responsive, so they will automatically resize whether your client is on a cell phone or a tablet, so it will look good no matter what they're looking at. You can hover over these to get a bigger look of what they look like. So you don't want to get too hung up on the colors or the images that you see with the template. You're basically just looking at the bones of the page. You want to make sure that you like the layout of it. So in this case, we have the header up at the top, Then we have a row with our menu, and then the common content on this site is on the left. And then if we jump over to this one, we have the menu at the very top, then the header, and the common content on the right. So you just kind of want to pick which layout you like the best, and then from there you can personalize it with colors and images. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to this cottonwood template. So once you've selected your template, you're automatically going to be taken to the next page, which is choosing the image to go with the template. These are the ones that we have to go with it. These are different for each template. So these are our stock photos that you're welcome to use. You can also choose no image if you prefer not to have an image with the template. And then you also have the option to add custom images. So if you wanted to include photos of patients that you see there or of your own pet, you can do that as well. We also, with some of our templates, have the option to rotate images through. So if you have several images that you'd like to include, depending on what template you're on, we can put that in there as well. And if you do want to use custom images, we just ask that you email those to us, and then our designer can put those into the code for you. So I'm just going to go ahead and select this picture. And once I've selected the picture, I'm now taken to the color selector. So these are the color options that we have available to choose from for this template. If you don't like any of the colors that you see with a particular template, or you want them to be custom colors that match your logo, or the color that your hospital lobby is painted, we can certainly do that as well. You would just have to email us with the colors you're interested in, and then we can put those into the code. So for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and pick this teal color. So now I've switched over to the Cottonwood template style 13. The style has to do with the color that I've chosen. And now if I go back out to the website, I'm going to see that I'm now on that new template, and all of those changes are now made. So now I have my common content on the right, my menu is below the header, and I still have the header at the very top and the footer at the very bottom. So now that we're back out at the website, I'm going to show you how to start editing each page of the site. So on this particular page, this is just a basic web page. We just have text and images. So to edit this page, I'm going to go to Edit Content. That's going to open up the editor for me. And like I said before, a lot like Word. So if I wanted to change the font family here, I would just select the text, and then I can change this. You can also increase the size of the text or decrease it as well. You can make the text bold. You can italicize. You can also align it in whichever direction you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and leave this centered. And then if you wanted to change any of this text, you would just come in and type in what you want or delete what you don't. Another thing to do is add or delete images. So you can choose to add images from our stock folders, or you can upload your own. So let's say I wanted to get rid of this photo. I'm just going to select it, and I'm just going to hit delete on my keyboard, and now I've completely wiped that picture out. If I wanted to add my own picture there, I'm just going to put my cursor where I want the image. So in this case, I want it here. If I wanted to add a picture down here, I would just click here. And I have two options. I can either right-click to get to Insert Edit Image, or I could just click on this button here. They're going to get me to the same place. So I'm going to go ahead and right-click, do Insert Edit Image. This new window appears, and this is asking where you want to pull the photo from. So if you click on this folder with the magnifying glass, that's going to open up the File Manager. The File Manager houses all of our stock photos, and you can also upload your own. So if I wanted to choose from any of our stock ones, I can, and I would just select from the species. So if I wanted a bird, I could choose from here, and so on and so forth. If you want to upload your own, you would just go back into the source and click Upload. Once you hit Upload, it's going to ask you where you want to pull the files from. You can either drag and drop them, or you can click Add Files. And I'm going to go ahead and add this picture of my dog in. So all I did was double click on it. Right now it's showing me that it's at 0%, so it is not uploaded to the site right now. In order to get it to go to 100, you do need to hit Upload first, and that's this blue button here. And then you'll see it climb up to 100%. Now I know it's fully uploaded. I can just hit Close. And now that photo is automatically selected since I just uploaded it, and all I have to do is hit Insert. So now this is showing me the dimensions of the photo. I'm just going to go ahead and hit OK so you can see what this looks like, but I know right away that this is going to be a little bit large. So I'm going to hit OK. So you'll notice a few things here. First of all, the photo is pretty large. I'm going to want to resize that. And also, my text is no longer wrapping around the image, so I want to fix that as well. So right now, the text is all the way down here at the bottom of the image, which looks a little bit funny. So to start, I'm going to resize it. And to do that, I just double-click, and I go into these dimensions here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this about in half. And to do that, just put the first number here. And then all you have to do is click outside of this, and it will automatically resize that other portion. That's going to help you so that the image doesn't look stretched out or anything. The system will automatically know how to constrain the proportions, and all you have to do is change one number and click out. So now that's going to be resized, so it's a bit smaller now. And now let's get that text to wrap around. So I'm going to double click, and under this Advanced tab, you have some different options for the photo. You can add a border color if you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and add a teal border. You can choose your border width. This is going to be read as pixels. Anything between 1 and 10 is safe. If you want something pretty thick, you can go higher than that. And you can always play around too. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with 5. Now you'll see that we have this align option. Right now it's none, so it's not being aligned at all. I can do left, which means my photo will be on the left, the text will wrap on the right, or I can do right, which will put my photo on the right and wrap the text on the left. I also have the option to do center, which will just center the photo and the text will go underneath or above it. I'm going to go ahead and do left and hit OK here. So now we have that border added in, and I can choose to make this thicker or thinner. And now we have the photo aligned on the left with the text wrapping on the right. But one thing to note here is that the text is right up along that image. So I kind of want to give this a buffer so it looks a little bit cleaner. So I'm going to, again, double-click on the photo, go back to the Advanced tab, and to do that, I'm going to add a margin here. So because our photo is aligned on the left, I want to add a margin to the right side of it. Again, this is read as pixels. Anything between 1 and 10 is safe. I'm just going to do 5 for now. If our photo was aligned on the right, we would want to add a margin to the left. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. So now you'll notice that there's a little bit of a gap now between that photo and the text, so it's not right up along it. And I can increase that as well if I want to make it a little bit larger. I can put this up to 10, and that's going to push it out even more. So that's just a neat little trick, kind of cleans up your site a little bit. If you have any pictures on your website that have text right along it, you might want to go in and just add some margin. You'll also notice that we have some links on this page. So we have the word veterinarians link. That's going to go to the page with the staff. You can link words, images, or buttons, and you can have them leading either to pages within your website or pages outside of your website. So let's say I wanted to link to our services page. I would just highlight this word or words if I want to choose multiple, and then I would right-click. And you'll notice here's our Insert Edit Image that we used before. In this case, I'm going to do Insert Edit Link, which is this first option. And again, I can either right-click to get to this, or I could just click on this button here. It's going to get me to the same place. Once I do that, it's going to ask me where I want this to link to. If I were going to an outside web page, like a Facebook page perhaps, I would just type that into here, and I would include the HTTP. You can also just copy and paste the link directly into this field. In this particular case, I'm actually linking to a page within my website. So I'm just going to choose from this link list, which includes every page on the website. And I'm linking to a services page, so I'm just going to click on that. So now you'll see here it automatically added my URL in. So now whenever a client clicks on services, which is this text display, they're going to be taken to that services page. I'm going to hit OK here. And now I'll see that that is now a hyperlink. You can also link images. So I would just do the same thing. I would just click on this, right-click, and do Insert Edit Link. And if I wanted to have this go to a page all about my dog, I could do that as well. You can also link icons or buttons. So this particular icon is going to the pet library. So you'll see here we have the pet library selected from our link list, and that automatically put that there. I'm going to go ahead and save. So now you see all of those changes we just made. Here is our new linked word. If I click on that, I'm going to go directly to the services page. And we have our buffer here along the photo, and we made some changes to the text here. Now I'm going to jump over to the staff page. So the staff page is where you're going to put pictures and bios. It is really good to put pictures on the website of your staff members if you have them. Again, it just gives it a more personal feel. So on this particular page, we do have things set up in what's called a table. So the table helps keep all of the information aligned and uniform. So if you have a lot of information that's going onto a page, so like a staff page where you're going to have multiple pictures and bios, it's good to set them up in a table so that the spacing doesn't get off. Again, I'm just going to go to edit content since this is just a basic web page. And now I see the table that's been set up. So I know that this is a table because when I click into here, I see these little squares appear around the edges. That's telling me that this is within a table, and I also see these dashed lines all the way around. This particular table is made up of 2 columns with 2 rows. So this is a column here with the images, and then this is a column here for the bios. And then we have 2 rows right now for the 2 staff members. So I could just come into here and type in the bio. And then you can also come over here to change these images. So we start you off with a stock image, and then to change that, again, you would just go to Insert, Edit Image. You would go here, and you would upload your own picture. If you added an additional staff member and you needed to add them to this table, all you have to do is click within the cell. So each one of these is a cell. So there's 4 cells here. And then if you right-click within the table, you have the option to add additional rows or columns. So if I were to add a row after, that's going to add another little row here. And you'll notice you kind of have to click into it for it to expand out. And then I have another place for a bio and another place for a picture. You can also add additional columns. So if I wanted to have a column, let's say, just for the school information of each staff member, I could do that here as well. If you were starting from scratch and you didn't already have this table pre-built for you, to add a new table, you just come up here to this table option, insert table, and then you select how many cells you want it to have. So the one we started with was a 4-cell table. We had 2 columns, 2 rows. That's going to look like this. And when you first add it in, it is pretty small, and you just have to expand these out by clicking on them. And once you start adding information, they do open up a bit for you. So those are tables. Again, that's good when you're adding in a lot of information on one page and you really want it to be uniform and set up with perfect alignment. I'm going to go ahead and close that. Also under About Us, we give you an hours page. So on this page, this is another place where you can put the hours that you're open and closed. You can also add special messages for any holiday hours or times that you're closed throughout the week. To edit this page, you actually have 2 options. You can do Edit Content. If I went into there now, there's nothing there, so I don't see that hours table. If I wanted to put some information above the hours table, I could do that. So I could do something like closed for the holidays. And then again, you have the option to change this up a little bit. Change the text color. And then I'll save this so you can see what it looks like. So now I have that above the hours table, just a special message for clients to see, grabs their attention. To edit this actual table, though, I'm going to use Edit Special. This is the first time we've used Edit Special, and you use this button when it's a template page. So if you're ever confused about when to use it, if you go to Edit Content, you'll notice you don't see it. Just switch to Edit Special. So now I see all of those hours of operation, and I can select here for the hours that I'm open and closed. So you can change these just by using these drop-down menus. And if you're closed any specific day, you can just select that here. If your hours were ever to change or anything, it's really easy to just come in here, click Edit Special, and update those. And if you wanted to update them on this side, remember you would just go to the Admin Home Common Content area. You also have the option to add a blog to your website. So if you do have an outside blog, you can link that within your website, and it actually gets embedded within the site. So your clients don't need to leave to read your blog. We also start you off with a services page. This is a page that when you start with the trial, you are going to want to look at, make sure that we're not offering anything that you don't offer at your clinic. And you'll also want to make sure that you add anything that's unique about your clinic that you do offer. You'll notice here we have a link. You can link to any of these pages if you'd like, if you want to do an entire page just on that one service. And we also include some little icons here. So again, just make sure you comb through that and that you aren't listing anything that you don't offer at your clinic. These are some other pages that we offer, some surgical FAQs. Again, you just want to go through this text, make sure that we're not listing anything that doesn't apply to your clinic. Something like this where we talk about sutures being removed. You just want to update this so that it's personalized for your clinic. And if you want to delete any of these pages or hide them, I'm going to get to that as well. So you don't need to include any of these pages if you don't want to. Jumping over to the pet library. The pet library is something included with all eVetSites websites, and you've probably seen it before. When you start with the trial, it is not activated, and you do want to make sure that you activate this if it is going to be a page that you keep live on your site. So I know that this isn't activated because it just shows no articles selected. I have no option to search for anything on this page. Again, this is another page where you have edit content and edit special. So if I go to edit content, I'm only going to see that text that's above, and I can personalize this however I'd like. And then if I switch to edit special, I'm actually going to see the admin feature. So to activate it, you only need to do this once, and you just have to select the species that you want to be included with the library. So if I only see dogs and cats at my clinic, I'm only going to select those two, hit save, and then close this. If that changed and I did start seeing small mammals, I can just come back into here and select another one. Vice versa, if I decided I didn't want to see dogs anymore, I can just unclick one as well. So I'm going to close this, and now we can see that the library is now activated. So when your client comes to your website and they click on the pet library, they have the option to search for any topic they want in veterinary medicine. So if they wanted to search for fleas, they would just type in fleas. They can either select dogs, cats, or small mammals, whatever species I have selected from Edit Special, or they can leave it as all. When you hit search here, it actually searches right within your website. Your clients don't need to leave it all to read these articles. These articles are all pulled from VIN and Veterinary Partners, so it is a reputable source. And all they have to do is click on an article, and they'll read it right here. This is a great place to drive traffic to your website. So if you're with a client and their pet does have fleas, you can always tell them if you want to learn more about fleas or whatever the issue may be, that they can come to your website and go to the pet library to view more articles and information on the topic. They also have the option to print the article directly from your site or email it. You can also email it to clients yourself. So if they were standing in front of you and you wanted to email them this article, you could just fill this out and say, more about what we were discussing. And then you would just put in their name and email address and then email that. So again, if you do have this on your website, you'll want to make sure that it's activated. And you can also test it too. You can put in some terms and make sure that it's working correctly for you. We also start you off with some informational pages. These are pages that are automatically updated. You don't need to worry about refreshing them at all. So this is the Drug and Food Recall Center. This all gets pulled from VIN. This is just going to list the latest recalls by year and some news articles associated with those. Again, if you don't want this page to be on your website, I'll show you how to delete or hide it. But you don't need to worry about updating this at all. We also offer a how-to videos page. These are just some videos that we think would be useful to your clients. If you have your own videos that you want to embed within this page, you can absolutely do that. If you have a YouTube channel that you want to link to here, this is a great place to do that as well. We have a list of poisonous plants, and you'll notice this is set up within a table. I just want to show you what that looks like. So here we have a 4-column table with a lot of rows here. And if you wanted to add any of your own, again, you would just come into here and add a row after. And then that's going to add a row to that. So that's what that page looks like. And of course, you can add your own plants to this. You can delete any that you don't want included, or you can hide or delete this page altogether. And then lastly, we have this links page. These are just some links that we think would be useful for your clients. Again, if you don't want to include any of these, feel free to delete them. And if you want to add your own, you can add to this list as well. Now I'm going to jump over to forms. We're probably going to spend a little bit of time here. Forms are probably the most powerful tool that we offer with the website. This allows your clients to submit forms online and contact you just by submitting it all within your website. So it can speed things up. If you want them to fill out a new client form, they can already have that ready to go. And you have the option of whether you want them to print it out and fill it out and bring it into the clinic with them, or they can fill it out directly online and submit it and it gets emailed to you. So on this files page, this is where they would click to actually download or open, and then they can fill it out themselves and bring it with them. We start you off with a sample of forms. You can choose to use these or add your own. So if you go to Edit Special here, you can delete any forms that we've included, or you can add your own here. You can also retitle them if you'd like, or add your own comments here. So again, that's going to be if you want a client to actually print out the form, fill it out with pen and paper, and bring it into the clinic. If you would prefer that everything is done online, you can use our online form. We do start you off with a few. We have a new client, prescription refill, change of address, and request appointment. These already have questions in them. If you want to, you can edit any of these questions. You can add your own, or you can also build a form from scratch. So let's say you offer boarding at your clinic and you wanted to have a boarding form. You can start from scratch and do a boarding form as well. So to edit the form, again, we're going to have edit content, which is going to be that information above, and you can edit all of this as you see fit, or you can switch to edit special and actually edit the form page right within the site. So up here we have the form name, where it's going to be sent to. If you have multiple addresses that you want this to go to, you can just separate those with a comma and add multiple email addresses. Your form response is going to be what they see after they've successfully submitted it. You can also add images here, or what a lot of clients choose to do is add coupons. So if you wanted to offer a new client coupon, you could also embed that right within this form response so that after they've filled it out, they'll then receive the coupon that they can print out. This show CAPTCHA, that's going to be a verification code at the bottom of the form. We do suggest that you leave this on because it helps cut back on spam submissions, so that you know that what's coming in is actually a legitimate response to the form. So here we have all of our form questions. So we have pet's name, client's name, address, and then just some questions down here. If you want to delete any of these, you would just hit the red X. You can also move questions up and down by clicking those green arrows. So that moves that field down one place. You can also add new questions by using this Add a New Field feature up here. So you can choose to use one of our stock questions or just text areas to add your own. So you get to choose what type of field you want to add and where you want to add it, so that you don't need to move them up and down, a long ways if you added a question here. So you can choose exactly where in the form you want it to be placed. And then over here you have the option of whether or not a question is required. So if you don't really need that piece of information, you can just uncheck that. And then anytime you make a change to this page, you just want to make sure that you hit update. There's two places to update. You can either hit it here, or down at the very bottom, there's also an update option. So again, you can customize this whole form, take out any questions you don't like, and add your own. We also have prescription refill. Again, this will be changed the same way. You'll just go to Edit Special, and then you'll customize these fields here. Another thing I want to note about forms is that if a client ever tells you that they submitted an online form but you didn't actually receive it, you can check to see if they did successfully submit it by coming into here as well. If you ever just want to look at the results that came through but you don't want to check your email to do that, you can also view them here. and you can download them as well. So if you wanted to download them into an Excel sheet and print them out, you do have that option. So if you click View Results here, this is going to show all of the submissions that have come through. It'll show all of the information on the left and the date it came through on the right. So if a client ever tells you that they submitted one but you don't see it here, the problem is probably that they didn't put in that CAPTCHA code correctly, so it didn't actually successfully come through. So those are online forms, again, completely customizable, and you can choose not to include these on your site as well if you don't want that to be an option for your clients. Under More Features, we give you some options here if you want to have a calendar, if you have any events that you want to highlight to clients that are coming up, or monthly specials that are going on. The calendar is a great place to highlight those. We have an employment page if you have any employment opportunities at your clinic. You can either choose to have them print out a application, or they can fill it out online as well, or you can just ask them to come in. We have a photo album where you can add your own pictures of clients or patients or even your staff members there. If you have any events, this is a great place to put event photos. An adoptions page if you have any pets that are up for adoption that you want to highlight. A coupon page, which is currently hidden, and I know that because it's in parentheses, and we'll go over that in just a second. So if you have any coupons or specials that you want your clients to be able to print out, this is where you can do that. And then we have a site search where they can search for terms within your site, and a site map, which will list out all of the pages within your website on one clean page. Jumping over to Contact Us, this is again a page that we include with all of our websites. It includes your address and contact information, an interactive map so that your clients can see exactly where you're located and get directions. And then this is another online form that they can fill out to contact you. And then again, you can add information up here. If you have special directions or if your clinic is hard to find, this is a good place to note that for your clients. Again, this has both an Edit Content section and an Edit Special section. So if your clinic moved down the street, you can just update the address right within here or the phone number. And then here is where that form is going to be sent to. So I'm just going to go ahead and save this for now so that you can see that the map automatically updated with the new address that I put in. If you didn't want that form to be available, all you have to do is delete the email address and hit save. And now that form is no longer active on the page. And you can always get it back by just going back into there and re-adding your email address. But if you don't want clients to be able to submit anything online, you can just delete that there. We also have a client feedback page. This is going to be where a client can privately send you questions or comments or any concerns that they may have. This will get submitted and emailed to you, and nobody else will see it. It doesn't get pasted to the website or anything. They would just be emailed to you, and then you can reply. And again, this would be through Edit Special. You can choose what fields are required or asked here, and then this is the response that they would see. This form is a little bit different than the others, but you still go to Edit Special to edit it. And then last but not least, we have an emergencies page. When you start off with a website, it actually lists your own clinic as the emergency contact because we just assume that you offer emergency services there. If you have a different clinic that you like to refer clients to, then you definitely want to update this page. Again, we have an Edit Content, which is going to be that information at the top. So if you want to say something like, we see emergencies on a case-by-case basis, or call this number, you can add that information in here. And then if you want to add a different clinic's information here, you would use Edit Special. So up here we can put ER Clinic. You can put in their address, their phone number, and then our system will automatically update these maps with whatever information you've inputted here. So if I hit Save, it's now going to be the ER Clinic's information here rather than my own clinic. Okay, so now, last but not least, we have Edit Menu. Edit Menu is going to be editing any part of this menu, so you can choose to delete pages, add pages, or hide existing pages. So jumping into here, This is what this looks like. You have all of your pages over here. You can expand these out to see the pages that are underneath each level. If you wanted to add a new page, if you wanted to add it as a top-level menu item, which means it will be one of those top options from the menu on the website, you would just click Add Top-Level Menu. It's going to ask you to confirm that you want to add a new page, and then you just fill this out on the right. So if I wanted to do a clinic pets page, I can do that here. I would just fill all of this out, and then I choose what type of page I want it to be. So you have some options here. A basic web page is just going to be text and images. And then we have different pages here as well that you can choose from. So if you wanted to build a new form, you would use a forms page. If you wanted to add a coupons page, a coupons page. These are all pretty self-explanatory, but if you ever forget or want to learn more about them, we do have that option here that tells you more about each page type. So here I'm just going to hit save, and that's going to add my new page right there. And just to show you what this looks like on the website, it's going to go right at the top here. If I wanted to add a page underneath an existing category, like About Us, I would click Add Sub-Level Menu. And I could do something like Our Doctors. And then again, just fill this out, choose my page type, and hit save. And now I have an Our Doctors page. You also have the option to delete pages. So you would just click this button here. And you just want to make sure that you do have the correct page selected when you are deleting or making any changes. So I just deleted that doctor's page. And now if you wanted to hide a page, you can use this down here. Hiding a page is really useful if you're working on a web page but you're not quite ready for the public to see it yet, so you want to keep it private. So when you hide a page, I'm just going to hit yes here and save. It automatically puts it in parentheses. That is telling me that I have to be logged in to view that page. So if my clients were to go to the website right now, they're not going to see that staff page. They're just going to see About Us, Hours, and Blog. So I can continue to work on this page. When I'm ready to take it live, I just jump back into here, and I would hit no and save, and then it will take those parentheses out, and the page is now live. Speaking of page types, if you wanted to add integrated content to your website, that's an option as well. That's going to add some bin articles to your website. So if you come up here to Edit Menu, you'll notice one of the options here is integrated content. I'm going to go ahead and change the page type and hit Save. And now it's added some articles down here. So every time the page refreshes, it will actually show 4 new articles. And these all get pulled from Vin. They can click Read More to read the whole article. And they can click back to go back to your home page. And you can control this by using Edit Special. So you have the option when you do an integrated page of how many articles you want to show. So you can do 2, 4, or 6, and what type of content topics you want to show. So in this case, I've selected all. If you wanted it just to be cats, you could just select cats. You can also add your own articles to this. So if you have your own information that you have typed out that you want to rotate through there, you can add your own by clicking that. You can also view every article that we have in the database by clicking on this integrated content button. So if you wanted to exclude any of these articles, you can just uncheck them, and that'll show you that it's now excluded. So you can go through here and see what types of articles we do have showing. You can choose to only show a select few, or you can have all of them selected if you'd like. And then I'm just going to go back here. So I've changed this to 2. Whoops, I don't think I hit save. And just to show you what that looks like, we now have just 2 here. And again, anytime a client refreshes your page, they're going to see 2 new articles appear here at the bottom. One last thing I want to point out is linking the social media icon buttons and changing those if you'd like. So again, we go to Admin Home, Site Common Content. So you have the option here to link these, or you can also change what they look like. So if I right-click and I go to Insert Edit Link, I already have this in here, but if you didn't have that in there, you would want to add it. So I'm going to go ahead and add in a new button just to show you. So I'm going to go to the source. If I go to the eVetSites image bank, we do have a folder titled Icons. You can also do a search here for icons as well. And this will show me all of the icons that we have available. So we have care credit buttons, hours logos, emergency buttons, and then here are all of our social media Facebook buttons. We have some map options. So let's say I have an Instagram account that I want to link onto the website. I'm just going to click on that, add that button in, and then if I right-click, I can insert edit link. And then here is where I would either copy and paste or type in the URL of my personal Instagram account. So you could just do this. That's going to link automatically to that page when clicked, and they will click on that button to get to it. And one thing to note here is that when you are linking to an outside page, it's a good idea to do target new window. That's going to mean that it opens up in a new tab for your clients. It would open up in a new tab here, and they don't ever have to leave your website. So I'm going to hit OK here. So that button is now linked to my Instagram, and when it's clicked, it will open up in a new window. So I just want to show you what that looks like. So here's the Instagram. Click on that. Oh, this is an actual Instagram page. So this will open up in this new tab here rather than within this page itself. And then you can also change these icons. So you notice there were some paw prints, some hooves. So if you wanted to change these at all, you can definitely do that just by going in there and doing the insert edit image. If you want to create any custom buttons or anything, please let us know and we can help you with that. So that's basically it for the orientation. We went through how to edit each section and page. If you have any specific questions, please go ahead and put them into the question screener. Or if you want me to review anything again, I can certainly do that. Some things that I do want to point out here at the end, we do have this help site button. So if you ever get stuck, you can always click on that. This will take you to our help site. You can search for a topic here or go through our tips and tricks to view different articles on how to edit the site. You can also always call us at this number. We are here to help. If you're ever getting frustrated with making edits or you really don't have the time and you need us to put something in for you really quickly, we're always here to help you with that. We're just a phone call away. You can also email us at support@evetsites.com. We do also offer one-on-one orientation. So if you're stuck on one particular topic within the editor and you really want some one-on-one help with it, definitely let us know and we can set up a time that works for you to go through that. And we also offer SEO consultations. So SEO is search engine optimization, and we have somebody here that can sit down with you and show you ways to improve your online presence, show you some tips and tricks for that. One last thing to note is we offer makeovers. Makeovers are free of charge, and basically what we can do is help you revamp the site. If you want to change the template or you want to add in some custom effects or anything, we can help you with that. What we do is we create what's called a copy site. So we create a second website for you that we work on behind the scenes. And then once you're happy with how everything looks and we've edited it to your liking, we can just go ahead and take it live in place of your live site. We do have a question here about how to link PowerPoints to a page. So what you can do is if you have a PowerPoint presentation that you want to link, you can just add that. You can upload it to the site and add it as a link that your clients can click on. Or you can save them as individual images and then upload them as images. So to show you an example, if I go to edit content, if I wanted to say here, I can highlight this, do insert edit link, come up here, and you have the option to not only upload images, you can also upload documents. So if I were to go here, you'll see here you can upload a PDF, and if you do add files, you can select your file. I'm not sure if it would do an entire, I think it will do an entire PowerPoint presentation. You just want to make sure that it's one of these valid extensions. So I think a PowerPoint is PPT. And then you would just insert it here, and then when your clients clicked on this link, it would open up that PowerPoint. You can also save each slide as an image if you wanted and just individually add those in so your clients can view it directly within the page. So hopefully that helped. Again, we offer makeovers, we offer logo help. If you want to customize any colors or graphics on your page, certainly get in touch with us and we can help you with that. If you're stuck on anything with the editor, feel free to call us or email us. We're here to help with that. We don't want anyone to get frustrated. Just get in touch with us, and we can always remotely connect to your computer and walk you through how to make changes as well. So I'm going to go ahead and stay on for a few more minutes. If you have any questions, feel free to put those in the question screener right now. Otherwise, feel free to call us or email us if you think of anything within the next hour or so that you forgot to ask. And thank you so much for attending. This session was recorded, so if you want to go back and review anything, it will be on our help site later today.